In today's video, let me talk about, first I would like to talk about the E3 press conferences for Sony, Microsoft, and the Wii U. Let me just keep this in mind before I start this. The the Sony press conference for E3 was really boring, because all they were talking about is old games that were supposed to come out for the PS3 10 years ago. Like Kingdom Hearts, what shall I say, 5 or 4 now? But it's actually Kingdom Hearts 3. You know, if they're really considering gaining more ground with the PS4, they might as well have put backwards compatibility in it. But because they always say from corporate knowledge that the PS3 didn't work, well, you barely have any games for the PS4. You know why I got a PS3 right when it first was announced? Because of backwards compatibility. But now that PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility, there's no point in me getting a PS4 at all. It's like a girlfriend getting a makeover and something's missing and you don't approve of it. And not to mention that I read somewhere on Sony's website that they're coming out with a terabyte PS4, a newer model. Okay, if history serves, I calculate for the PS3 having 6 different versions of hard drives in them to recuperate the cost of the 2 backwards compatibility ones. Let me start from the bottom. They had a 12, they had a 40, an 80 with partial backwards compatibility. Let's see, not to mention 120, 250, and I believe they also had a 180, if I'm not mistaken, and a 320. So I count about, what is that, 7, just to recuperate the cost of the original PS3 with the 20 and the 60 gig. What is Sony doing? And I could barely hear when I was watching E3. They announced Last Guardian. Last Guardian was supposed to be announced 10 years ago. I wonder how much they paid the actual developer to come out with The Last Guardian on the PS4. And not to mention Final Fantasy VII Remake. Allegedly. I would say they had to pay that person $2 billion just to come out, just to convince that game to come out on the PS4, just so they could make up their profit margin. I would say WTF, I mean, what the fuck, or WTFHF, what the hell fuck. I mean, backwards compatibility is crucial to Sony's survival in the gaming industry. Not to mention that they already came out with 6 other versions. I will repeat this again. Not to mention that they already came out with 6 other versions of the PS3 to recuperate the cost of the original PS3s. They're repeating the same formula, which I don't agree with. I mean, what's wrong with the perfectly good system that plays everything Why would I want to rent out games for the PS3 for 20 bucks a month that I already own? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Clearly that doesn't make sense to me. And I will continue by saying this. Microsoft will make Xbox One backwards compatible. And that makes me wonder why I would want to stay with Sony. After all, I have over 100 games for PS3. And PS4 I pre-ordered 6 games on pre-order for the PS4. And they have no announcement for backwards compatibility for the PS4. Legitimately backwards compatible. Microsoft announced backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. Their press conference was better than Sony's. Come on. And not to mention, I bought a Wii U, and right now, both of those consoles are kicking Sony's ass from Kingdom Come. When I heard the games come out for the PS4, for the console wars between 3 companies, all Sony's competition has better games coming out for their systems rather than Sony. It doesn't make sense not having backward compatibility if their competition. It makes perfect sense when their competition is coming out with backwards compatibility rather than the actual person who started backwards compatibility doesn't come out with backwards compatibility. What I'm trying to say is backwards compatibility for Sony is key for me to continue with my gaming with Sony. Without it, I think I'm gonna jump ship sometime soon. If it doesn't happen soon, it's gonna happen later. And not to mention that Microsoft's press conference and Nintendo's press conference was a lot better than Sony's. I could actually hear them perfectly fine. I didn't watch Microsoft's press conference, but I'm sure that their sound quality was better than Sony's was. The sound quality for Sony's press conference was going in and out every time somebody was actually talking. I guess when you're losing money like that, you don't hire the best sound guys. Even if I was watching it on my television. Wow. And that is all for this video.